stacks up, he just gains a few K worth of net worth in the jump, you know, within 30 seconds, and suddenly he's come back out completely refreshed. Really, it's like nothing ever happened to Lane.
Yeah, he recovers quite nicely thanks to, of course, the Grievel's Greed. So you're gonna have to keep an eye out for that, but order to really keep track of that jungle. You've got Jabs, who's probably just gonna constant watch there anyway while getting his rotations in for those early stacks, and the Chen just kind of guarantees you're always gonna have that jungling presence anyway. So Adroit has a lot of work left on their plate. They're gonna have to ensure that they take all of that space away. Conversely, Fnatic, once they fall behind, they're really starting to share farm when there's no space. I mean, even the NP Ice 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 will need some farm to come online. Of course, Moon on the Storm. We know the Storm Spirit requires some early investment. It's all in stark contrast of Adroit's own draft, which is pretty selfless. I'd say Bok is probably the one who needs the most. Even the Ember Spirit doesn't take too much, and the Monk doesn't take too much, but Bok will probably need 2 tank items to really stand in front. Shouldn't be too hard to get done on a Bristleback. There's nothing really here to punish him too hard for this pick.
Yeah, I mean, Ice 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 on the Prophet's going to be up against him in the safe lane. We are indeed going to see the safe lane Alchemist across, and he'll be up against Natsumi on that Monkey King. So, I mean, that prediction was correct, right? You definitely want to ensure Monkey is against Savage on this arc, and you do have Jabs there, at least on the Chen, to try and maintain this creep equilibrium. But as I say that, they have to farm underneath their own T1, the wave pushes out, and now Natsumi's in control.
It is a challenging lane. I think by the time you hit level 3 on the Alk, at the very least, you can kind of shove out Natsumi with a threat of some Acid Spray and some raw right-click damage. Monkey King does not have the best starting arm in the world. That is something you can definitely punish as the Alchemist with the Acid Spray.
So far, Savage is having a perfectly fine time. 7-1 on the up. Natsumi just jumping around on his stick, on his pogo stick. Savage not really too affected on the arc at the moment. Have a quick look at the mid lane. Mac on the Ember. They're up against Moon on the Storm Spirit. Both are trading fairly evenly. Moon finding himself slightly ahead by 1 last hit at the moment, but Mac is starting to dish out quite a lot of harassment with that Flame Guard. Moon does just have some tangos to eat up anyway. He'll be okay. Now this lane, I mean, it generally trades pretty evenly up until you hit 6, right? Like, it kind of goes either way depending on who outplays the other. It doesn't really seem to favor one or the other too much.
No, definitely not. It's something that can draw even if both players are equally skilled and play conservatively enough. It is a fun matchup to watch. I mean, you don't tend to see both these heroes picked at once because you do usually see one standout going to either of the brothers. Still, Moon playing pretty darn good, applying that pressure. Mac does have to charge up. He's not in any serious trouble.
Oh, sweet.
Bit rough for Mac though, like, that Flame Dart just getting burned through so quick. Moon just needs to really land once they summon Booby. Bot lane actually ends up finding first blood onto Jabs. Jabs not gonna really enjoy that, but at the very least for them it wasn't really the Alchemist going down. It does make it so Savage can't really get close to the creep wave until that Chen is back. So it is quite important for Jabs to stay alive.
He's a key part of what keeps Savage in this lane. If Jabs is gone, then Savage just can't trade those hits. He runs very high risk of copying way too much damage from Natsumi. Could get the Jingu Mastery off, get the Boundless Strike on, of course, get the sole focus of Boomy's Shadow Poison spam and the Disruption. So a lot here that can go wrong for Fnatic if they leave their Alk alone. So Jab's gonna have to really watch his spacing and watch his trading. Something like the Shadow Beam.
sitting at 19 and 1, definitely not being slowed down too much. So it looks like Matt trying to go after a Haste Rune, but great awareness there from Ice. He will just teleport in and help out his own mid-storm. Would have been pretty big had he found that Haste Rune, but I mean, both spirits is just sitting there with an empty bottle right now, and it looks like they're just going to have to sustain themselves up until the bounty rune mark.
It's unfortunate, but it's a really good awareness coming out from Ice, and that's something the NP can give you, just a lot more control over runes. I do like seeing this from Ice, but then again, he's one of those players that really does play active early on, isn't afraid to just dip out of his lane and just get something done.
Jabs, bot lane has been caught out again on the Chen, and he will get Boundless Strike to death. Again, Chen is gone, Savage sits back, he can't, or maybe he can, but as soon as he does, he gets hit by a huge stick from Natsumi. Whack, whack, whack. We'll have to wait for Jabs to TP back into the lane.
He's doing fairly well for himself, Savage. 25 to 1 compared to Monkey King's. Still finding that farm. I mean, sure, you're losing your Chen a lot. That's probably the game plan of Fnatic. Just drop your Chen, sacrifice your Chen every single time. Let Savage farm up safe. Don't have him dropping. And if you get that done, it really doesn't matter that Jabs is dying. Like, he's still finding levels as the Chen. He's still about to hit level 4 anyway. Has some decent progression in EXP. He's still going to be a major factor as the game escalates.
Well, on the other side of the map, John, the one lane we haven't looked at too much, the bot Bristleback has also been freely farming. Currently sitting at 38 and 10. Looks like he is probably going to go into the Vanguard straight away after that Soul Ring being picked up, and he's going to phase boots after that. Ice understands it seems that he can't really slow down the Bristleback too much. Just try to accept that fact, and I guess that's why he was playing so actively early on. Because you just know you're not going to slow the Bristleback down. Like, there's no way an NP does it by himself.
They're really not investing any resources to stop Bach. I think they understand that. Just need to get their own hero big. Really can't contest the Bristle early on. They're just hoping that Bach won't be able to get as much done, and to be fair, if you ignore Bristleback, sometimes that is enough. If you're not actually hitting Bristle, his mana pool early on is kind of limited. As long as everyone else is kind of big in Fnatic's side, you can kind of afford to do that.
They will. Just ignore him. Bach will just go to the jungle, just keep farming up there. Of course, he can just flash farm with Quill Spray, but he is out of mana now. Looking over to the Ember Mac, falling quite low, but he's also kind of forced into his own jungle as both the Spirit Brothers aren't even in mid lane anymore. They've just kind of left. And neither one really interested, as they do now have kill potential, and DJ will at least be the one on the side of Fnatic who takes over the mid lane as the Nyx Assassin. I think he will walk away as Mac will return back into the lane.
They're at the point where they can clear out those jungle stacks themselves. Just a bit of a safer farm for both sides. Not going to be under threat of any support rotations. Rather take that safe farm. Moon is forced to walk back. Empty on mana, empty on the bottle. Going to be TPing back in, and I suppose going to find something else. Although Savage is spotted out.
In big trouble, Goomy touches him out before he takes the big creeps, and now Mac will come in. Savage, he does have the chemical range, but he's taking a lot of damage. In fact, those remnants weren't enough. Meanwhile, while that was happening, Moon, he found Natsumi down at the bot lane. So the Monkey King gets taken out. The Alchemist does survive through all the ganking that was going on, and I believe that was his magic stick charges that really kept him up during those remnants. And in fact, now CML ends up going down. DJ the one to pick it up on the Nyx Assassin.
Tried to get the Ancient Creeps to deny him off while he was still pretty high in HP. Not quite enough. That did give enough steps to DJ for him to get the last right click off and find another. Still, I like seeing the movement coming out from Adroit. They do understand that they have to keep a lid on Savage. Doesn't quite pay off. I really need your Monkey King to be there as well to ensure that kill was caught out in the end. So rather unfortunate for Adroit, but this gives them some space to get a push going up top.
Yeah, it looks like Natsumi just kind of lets go of the bot lane. Just doesn't want to bother with that anymore. Group up top, trying to get the first tier 1 of the game. Moon is basically doing the same thing down at bot, but he's alone. The rest of Fnatic are starting to slowly rotate up towards that top lane, so we may see a defense attempt coming out. But I highly doubt it, as Ice is going to get jumped on. Natsumi didn't quite connect with the Primal Spring. We have some Whirlwind Rippers. Start to get those Cyclones or Tornadoes out. But the problem is Jabs has been caught out by Mac on the Ember, and that'll probably mean his life is gone. Natsumi will pick it up. In fact, it's Mac who confirms the kill, and Natsumi was there with the Boundless Strike.
Managing to find a nice kill for their troubles. I believe they also managed to... no, they didn't at least find neutrals. They were microed away by Jabs, so prioritizing those neutrals more than his own life probably worked more than him, to be fair.
I would agree with you on that. Ice, a nice outpost still, just before that 10-minute mark, and he's always been that kind of player where if you're not watching, he will just take something away from you without you even realizing it, and now he's going to make a run for it. He should go down and does, but he bought out, and he denied the outpost XP from the Dire, and I'd say Fnatic are probably very okay with that.
Definitely. They need a lot of EXP on their supports. DJ is still trailing behind, doesn't quite have his level 6. Does get it now with the Tome, so is all set, has his Vendetta up. Of course, Jabs has his ult up as well. The Hand of God is ready to go. And with that mech pick up an Ice, it's going to be very hard to take a full fight here from Adroit. Just a lot of sustain coming out from Fnatic very early on.
DJ gonna have an attempt here on the bot, as Moon will also come in. They do stun up the Bristback, and he really isn't as tanky as you would hope. Bot, can you get out of this? Not quite. Moon will be able to claim the kill over that Bristle. He did have the Hood of Defiance, but that's really the only defensive item he had, and it just wasn't enough.
That's gonna cost them a bit. Like, they really need the Bristle to be ready for the upcoming fights. He's doing fine for himself, right? He's 100 gold behind, 100 gold ahead of the Storm, kind of shifting around there. Number 2 in net worth. My biggest issue for Adroit right now is that they were applying good pressure to Savage earlier on. They have let that slip. They haven't been watching that jungle. He is at 8k net worth.
That's problematic. He does also have the full Radiance coming out, I believe. He just needs the recipe, and it's on the courier. We have a call in from a Chen, and he is going to get sent up top, but Ice does go down at the bot lane. But all these kills happening across the map, you could make the claim Ice, he's just more than happy to distract the side of Adroit and just keep them coming his way.
Definitely. It feels like Ice is just going around prolonging its life with a mech when he's trying to shove out a lane, buying time for his team to farm up elsewhere. With all of this happening, Moon has a free time. He's not contested. That's a Storm with no items. He's just free to farm down mid lane. Savage is free to farm in the entire jungle. He's playing in the Dire jungle now, and there's really no punishment coming out from Adroit. They're just trying to hunt heroes they can find. That just happens to be Ice every time, and he's not a priority for Fnatic's farm.
Classic bait play. Ice gets chained up now while trying to TP away. Matt won't really follow up though. I say that, he is starting to run forward, but I doubt he'll dive the tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, Moon ends up finding a kill onto Natsumi bot lane, and they are trying to chase down DJ on the Nyx Assassin, but CML gets caught out by Moon. Vortex gonna be there, Bok trying to help out Moon. He is out of mana. This could be a big kill, but no, DJ with a spike carapace to the impale. It won't connect. This may be the opening Bok needed, but Moon, he waits for the Ember. He remnants forward. The only problem was Boomy did end up getting the purge off before he did zip away. Now Ice will also end up going down once again. And that is actually going to be a pretty nice win for Adroit. Just a simple mistake there, just not being able to get the ball lightning off quick enough. And you can make the argument Boomy was just very quick to make sure he got his purge off.
Definitely was quick fingers on Boomy to get that done, but rather interesting, they actually throw Ice in to get the mech off to try to save Moon. It doesn't pay off, but you can see how much they're willing to sacrifice for these bigger cores, just really willing to sacrifice NP. Ice was going to be there either way, whether or not the Storm lived with a mech use, he was going to die. And they're willing to make those sacrifices on Fnatic. Adroit do get away with a better trade. but that is more time for Fnatic to get farm on Savage, which they are getting done. Like, so Adroit is still getting good space, but it's just at 12k. That's more than 2 times ahead of anyone next to him.
He's going straight for a heart as well. Like, he's just gonna have that heart up in a minute or two. Already got the most expensive parts of it. Just farming so efficiently on this Alchemist, and now they ping him out. They know he's already from the mid lane. There is a jump going on here. Fnatic find Mac on the Ember. That is a huge kill. You know, without Mac being available on the map, I don't really think you can kill the Alch. The Savage, realizing his time's up in the diagonal, will start running towards his own triangle, and to be fair, bounty runes are up in 15 seconds. We all know how alchemists like to secure those.
Definitely loves him, and that should give him the gold for the heart. Like, he's the recipe away, 100 gold. I think the stack will give it. He does have it. Could just fly it out now. He has a heart, Radiance, 15 minutes in, with a phase boots and soul ring as well. It's been a fantastic time for free farming on this Alch.
This is not what Adroit wanted, but it seems like they got kind of baited into this. The Savage now willing to take a team fight, going straight onto bot, gets the full unstable concoction duration, and with that impale, he has plenty of damage. The Bristleback does not take anything. Now Moon jumping in the back, going after Booming. They also found CML, who gets a blinding light, but it just doesn't matter. 3 going down, and there's the heart being completed. That was after the team fight.
Oh boy. There is no solution just yet for Savage, but you are slowly building up from Mac. It is just a little bit away from that Spirit Vessel. Once that's up, of course, you have a way of mitigating that regen, but you're going to have to give this rush away to Fnatic. That means you're going to have to deal with an Aegis on one of these heroes anyway.
Even if you get the Spirit Vessel though, where's the follow-up damage going to be from? Like, Natsumi's only got an Echo Saber. He's kind of dealing an okay amount of damage, but Moon, he just jumps on Boomy now, clearing out another support. I don't even know if the Spirit Vessel's enough at this point. Like, it feels like it's nowhere near.
It's not quite enough. It's really not. There's just so much raw HP on Savage right now, and I mean, he's working towards an AC as well, right? Well, by the time he has that up, you really just don't have enough damage to eat through. You don't have great magic damage anyway.
Why is he using the stun? Savage just stuns himself.
Just to be sure.
Oh, here they come. Mac jumps in. Chemical range is a problem. Mac, do you have the vessel? Yeah, you do. There's another stun coming out. Savage, he's starting to melt slowly but surely and bomb. Really start to add up those cool sprays. They get another chains on. Meanwhile, Wukong's command going to be in the back. Jabs, he will be the target. Jabs just tanks the gang. Savage just walks away freely.
That's pretty massive committal from Adroit as well. At the, you know, they do find that kill, sacrifice the Wukong's command. That's not a very long cooldown. That's not a very short cooldown. It's 130 seconds, so they're gonna have to wait for that to be up and running again before forcing a big fight. They do hold on to everything else, so they still have the Will-O-Wisp to play with afterwards. But you'd want that combination to be there. The Wisp, Wukong's command, not gonna have that combination, and Savage is not even out of that jungle.
Well, he's got chemical range again. They use another Spirit Vessel charge. They're actually getting a lot of damage. Savage, I think he may have overextended on this one. And alright, they do have the damage output. Fnatic may have just gotten a little bit cocky there with how tanky the Alch was. And that's going to slow down his progression quite a bit.
It's going to speed up Adroit. That's a very good kill for them to take. Highest priority target on the map, most net worth. This should give them some space to get a push going onto the tier 1. You are seeing Fnatic start to TP in some heroes to try to distract that creep wave. Ice just pulling all the way behind. They're not going to have any creeps to tank through those tower hits.
You see DJ in the back on the Nyx Assassin sitting at level 10 already and ready to try and set up another gank attempt for his team. There's some fast levels on DJ as well, man. You don't see a Nyx Assassin hit level 10 and this early on. And they're going to try and Savage again, but this time Fnatic are trying to use Savage as bait. Ice will make that obvious by taking the treants. Adroit unless they're doing a 5v1 up against that Elk, it just doesn't seem like they're confident enough to make the play.
There's just way too much from Fnatic to keep him alive. If the mechs are ice, that's just not enough to burn him down now.
Zumi has Wukongs. Savage is going to take the C2, although here they go. They jump onto Savage, but he again has that chemical range. ZML going to go straight away. Now the Wukong's doing a fair bit onto Savage with that Spirit Vessel, but it's not going to be enough. In fact, Jabs controlling up with these Centaurs. They will be able to get Bok now on the Bristleback. Buybacks flying out. And Adroit, they've got to be careful. They're going to have a few diebacks coming out if they keep going in like this. In fact, Savage is still chasing Boomy, who has no way out of this situation. And he just understands he's going to have to die alone in the woods. Moon will pick up a complete ultra kill.
He just finished up his Bloodstone as well, so he immediately gets 19 charges. Lots of value.
Very nice. That was indeed 2 diebacks as well, by the way. Both supports dying back throughout that. And so Fnatic can go for a team retell. And they will. And it's actually not going to take very long.
They've only got 1 charge in the Spirit Vessel left as well.
Oh, DJ. Spike Carapace set up. Now the Unstable Concoction does connect the Empire. Also going to die back. It's not a dieback, he just doesn't have the gold for it. But how do you stop this top Rax going down now? There's just no way. Savage has a stun, throws it out, ignores the Bristleback. Everyone just walks in and claims the Rax. It's that easy.
Yeah, just like that. Adroit cannot defend. That tanky frontliner in the Bristleback just... If you ignore him, he's not a factor. He just doesn't do enough at this point just yet. They do manage to wait out the Aegis though. Moon would not have that tool, but you still lost your top racks basically, except for the range. You've lost a major set of objectives there, Adroit. The map has shrunk for them, and Savage is just dancing around the map. C up, so you can't really right-click him down.
He's going to be the chains out, Matt, getting the Ember now, another follow-up route with the Will-O-Wisp. They might find Moon, but he does have that Bloodstone active. He will be able to zip away just in the nick of time and survive this as Savage moving in on the Alchemist, but now he's in the middle of that Wukong's command. This is very dangerous. Disruption will be there. They'll get those Alchemist illusions, and Savage is now hurting himself quite a lot. Is Fnatic going to take this team fight or not? It looks like they do not as they try to run out, but no, Savage, he wants to go back in now as Moon. Not straight onto CML. He just needed a reset. He'll get both supports. It'll be a double for Moon, as now they're looking towards Mac on the Ember. Moon is not done with his fiery spirit, as Mac is completely out of mana, but Moon now being chained up with the spirit vessel. He does zip out in time. DJ with the Spike Carapace will hold Mac down. That'll be it. Fnatic, they find 3 very nice kills. They lose their Chen, but I believe they will have some time to go after that mid-ranks.
Yeah, again, there's not going to be any strong contention here from Adroit. In fact, they might lose Bok if they're not careful. Savage is going for it.
To start off, Bok is facing forward, and well, Blinding Light will save his day. Bok doesn't really have a choice. He needs to keep going forward and getting his cool spray stacks up. Like, if he backs out, how do you defend? Meanwhile, Moon, he's just farming creeps right now. He may need to help out his team a little bit, but he's just waiting for the perfect moment. Now Natsumi comes in. Both supports are starting to follow, so Boomy will get jumped by Moon straight away. Now Bok has to run back to the base, but Moon is not done. He will finish the job off, but he's been chained up, and Moon will end up losing his life. The buyback now comes out from Bok as he wants to try and help out while the storm is down, but Moon, he also buys back. They're just going to go up all again into a 5v5 engagement. As Savage goes after the dieback on the Bristle, but Moon, he wants those tasty supports. In fact, no, he gets the Ember. Savage is the one to pick it up with the Radiance. And Adroit are just throwing all their gold away, trying to defend this base, but no, the double Spike Carapace, the huge Will-O-Wisp from CML, just holding them all back, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough as Savage moves forward again. Mac, he will avoid the stun thanks to the disruption of Boomy. But DJ, with just the constant stuns on the Nyx Assassin, he will go down at the end. And you know what? Adroit, they do successfully defend, only losing that tier 3 tower. In fact, they're going to go for more now. Savage, he doesn't have the Mimical Rage for another 20 seconds. He needs to buy time, or he needs his team to buy time, but he is falling way too fast. Jabs, can you keep him alive? There's the heal of God coming out. Savage still falling quite low, and he does finally drop. And Adroit now need to capitalize as much as they possibly can. They'll jump onto Jazz, but Moon again in the back lines with that Bloodstone. He'll find CML. He's going after Boomy. He is surrounded, however. Can he get out? He can Ball Lightning. Do they have a TP cancellation? Natsumi, he can't get it in time. The Balance Strike just half a second too late. But what a team fight.
Definitely. Fnatic still looking pretty darn good. Adroit is holding on to dear life here. They're 23 to 14. 25 minutes in, 25k behind. Fnatic 25 to 25. Net worth. That is a massive swing for Fnatic. Of course, that majority of that is on Savage. In fact, at least 13k of that advantage is on Savage solely. So a lot of that is just on the out, but it's still a very significant lead here for Fnatic. All their heroes severely farmed up.
It'll be alright, we'll manage to get out of there. Nobody dies.
Adroit really just needs to get a little bit of breathing space here. If they can find and isolate Savage continuously, they can certainly bounce back in. But Savage does have a BKB now. So your options of bursting down Savage are getting very limited here.
It's getting harder and harder. Going for the Abyssal Blade next, and I think with the BKB alone, it may just be enough.
Oh yeah.
Spirit Vessel is really the only thing keeping him in check. Savage, he'll bring out a Basher for himself now. It looks like he's just gonna not waste, but just use another minute to finish off the Abyssal before he gets involved. In fact, never mind. They'll go after a Roshan instead. That's fair enough. Yeah,
there's no contestation from Adroit. They have the spells. Don't get me wrong, they have great teamfight spells. They have Will-O-Wisp, Wukong's Command. But fine they are. It's just asking for trouble if they went for the contest. So have to give that away. Hope for the high ground fight to end up better for them, where they can shine if all of their spells land perfectly.
Well, now you've got an Aegis and Cheese available. The Storm, looking very, very hard to deal with. Moon has two ways of surviving now with that Aegis and Cheese, both placed on him. A Savage just doesn't have the space for an Aegis or a Cheese. He's just interested in finishing off that Abyssal Blade before they go high ground. And it looks like it's not going to take too much longer for him to have it. Adroit, what do you do here? Like, do you think they have what it takes to deal with the Alchemist? Because it does feel like a couple more times of taking this team down, and they may just be back into the game.
It's a lot. Like they've got to kill Savage so many times here. I don't think they just have it.
Mid lane disruption gonna save him. Concoction not gonna land. In fact, it's gonna stun up Savage, and now is that their opening? Not quite. The stun does wear off, and Savage, he runs in now. They have their own Spirit Vessel, and Bok is falling very, very low. Moon jumps in to get the job done, and you do not have buybacks available on the BB. Now Wukongs will come out for Savage. He pops the BKB. CML has dropped now. Natsumi tries to man fight, but Moon is just waiting to drop him on that Storm. They're just taking everybody out, and I have a feeling that GG call may be coming very, very soon as Mac almost dies, but it doesn't matter. They're going after T4s, and the GG has been called. Fnatic taking a very, very convincing game number one.
Definitely. On paper,